lady who's obviously lost hers a long time ago. She's a recidivist on this kind of stuff. Good old Liz May. And the greatest irony here in her anti-Americanism is the fact that she's an American. Like she's an import. But she would support the ostriches, except she saw one of them wear a red hat. So let's watch this crazy clip. What a crazy, crazy bird.
As a BC MP, I'm just curious what your take is on the ostrich situation at Universal Ostrich Farms. What's your party's position on that?
Well, I wrote the Minister of Health in so long ago now, a very different Minister of Health. It was January 2025 that I wrote to say, look, can't we get the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to redo the tests? That will remove a lot of the either anxiety, divisions. One wants to know why not redo the tests. It's not that difficult to redo the tests, but CFIA is refusing. So I think CFIA could help themselves, potentially, by doing independent testing. Do these birds have traces of avian flu? And it's become such a divisive issue. I must say most of my constituents who write me want that ostrich cull not to happen. And they want to, and I want to know, I'm not saying whether it should or shouldn't happen, but why not get the evidence? Why not, and this is our position as a party, why not redo the testing and verify the health of that flock of ostriches before engaging in what many see as animal cruelty? And I can't imagine, this is absolutely astonishing to me, that an animal welfare issue in Canada has garnered the attention of MAGA-type billionaires in the United States, which makes me sympathize with the ostriches less. But that doesn't matter. What matters is we get our facts first. And we don't have all the facts because CFIA has refused to do the testing.
She had like a rare moment of moral clarity there where all of her brain cells, two of them were rubbing together properly and she was making sense. And then she just had to keep going. And she was like, oh,
you know
RFK winked at one of them and now they gotta die. Like, crazy lady.
Unpopular opinion, I actually like what she said. You know, she's Elizabeth May. I'm not going to expect her to do any more than that. But she quickly said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing about this is they can't do what they normally do when they excuse government overreach and keep the vast majority quiet about it. They can't vilify the ostriches. They can't do that with animals. They can't make them MAGA ostriches. So even she's like, well, that doesn't matter. And every time I watch Elizabeth May say something silly, I end up watching her drunk on the stage or whatever that was. And
right.
I don't know. She brings joy to my life. So.
It always could be worse with Liz. I'll go to Chris.
Yeah, that's surprising. I can't believe that I'm agreeing with Elizabeth May on something. But I mean, she couldn't, like you say, she couldn't go all the way. You know, you hit on the things earlier. The biggest thing for me is this government bureaucracy. Unelected officials, government bureaucrats, seem to have unlimited power in our country. There's no recourse really to stop them in real time. And it's not just with these ostriches, property rights, firearms, but these bureaucrats basically run the show. And there's zero transparency. And I really don't know what we do about that. Like, we need to have some sort of recourse to stop this kind of thing in real time. And we don't have that. And we don't seem to have any recourse after the fact either. The government does break the law. The issue is moot by the time we get around to it. And then how do we prevent this kind of thing from happening again?
Yeah, well, in the new country, it's not going to be my problem. What you people get up to in Ontario. John, go ahead.
Well, you know that we're in trouble as a country when Elizabeth May is making sense. That's where all, you know, you said it best. She's very disliking of America, especially the current government. Maybe she likes other governments there more, but she is making sense on this. And it's surprising, well, actually not surprising, that her constituents are letting her know they don't want this to happen. So she's basically being compelled to come out in their favor. She is their representative. That's how our system's supposed to work. And she's not whipped as a one member of a one person sitting party. I guess she can say whatever she wants, and she often takes liberty to do that. Like I said, I think we're in trouble as a country when she's making sense. And like Chris said, there's no recourse here. Right. Every level, the federal court of appeal, and now to the Supreme Court of Canada with Justice Wagner, who I'm not extraordinarily hopeful about, there is no recourse. No. Like, this is the government coming in and doing whatever they want. They can destroy 30 years of your work at the blink of a hat, no testing, no evidence, and then people will cheer for it because MAGA Americans think that it's stupid, because
Right.
it is. So,
Well, and we saw the CFIA, they used to have somebody akin to an ombudsman there, I think it was the chief redress officer, and they were finding that nearly one out of every 3 complaints levied against the CFIA for their decisions was founded, and that many times they had to reverse those decisions. So instead of saying, oh my goodness, we have an institutional problem with the CFIA where 1/3 of their decisions are wrong, instead of looking internally at the CFIA and saying, what can we do to address these wrong decisions and change the culture here? You know what the Liberals did? They just got rid of that position. The chief redress officer. They're like, we're getting too many complaints. You know what we should do? Get rid of the guy handling them. And then everything's fine and everything's fixed.